Okay, this is another what if video. I tried to splice together all my Grok AI footage and have that playing while I'm narrating, but still trying to. I'm still trying to get used to just the Grok AI. So bear with me. I experimented a little bit with that in the Rocky 5 what if video, and I really was impressed with what Grok AI could output. But so anyways, this is another movie idea that's just like stuck in my head, and this is very therapeutic to put this out into the ether. This is a what if video. Okay, so a little preamble. I've spoken about how to save the Star Trek franchise loosely a little bit, and I've talked separately about missing scenes, maybe how to save a certain Star Wars film. But this has been in my head for decades. I love certain aspects of Star Trek, the sense of adventure, exploring, the Federation's not code of conduct. I was in the Marines for 10 years, so it was their primary mission. I'm thinking of the intro of TNG. Like, what did Picard say? I'd be like, Picard, I'd be on the bridge like, Picard, what's our mission again? Shoot everything I see. But then I also love the Star Wars franchise. I love it's a completely different. You know which universe you're in. Like if you just popped up on the bridge of the Star Trek, or even one of the alien worlds, you'd be like, oh, I'm in the Star Trek universe. Vice versa. Star Wars, you would know exactly where you were. So I love. It's not really a steampunk technology in Star Wars, but it's a lot more, mechanically driven. There ain't no transporters, which is the main selling point of my next idea. There are no transporters in Star Wars, and I give them a lot of credit for not falling into that trap of convenience. It's a trap of convenience. That's what transporters are. I guess you could say the same thing for warp drive. But I want to have that sense of exploration, defying the audience's expectations, and maybe a redemption arc. So here's my what if scenario. And I think this would be, and I've seen a lot of the Star Wars. There was even a really good, I think it was like a mini series where some rebel pilot crash lands on Endor, and it's a survival show almost. And that's a little hint at what my idea is. This is my idea. What if a Star Destroyer with full crew, like they're getting ready. Maybe this is one of the Star Destroyers that was doing the embargo on Endor, or they're going to be the basically. And now that I think about it, Return of the Jedi is basically the Battle of Midway, isn't it? At the end, but the Empire. Anyways, I digress. I'll have other videos where I talk about. Maybe I'll pick apart World War II battles. Not even the films. Let's just say what if. Anyways, what if a Star Destroyer, and it doesn't have to be from Return of the Jedi. Even though I want one of those Star Destroyers. What if something happened? Something happened to its warp drive, its navigation system. Maybe an alien anomaly, a wormhole popped up. It got lost. The Star Destroyer, it was full companion of accompaniment of stormtroopers, TIE fighters. Maybe it had one Sith Lord on the ship visiting at the time. It doesn't necessarily have to be Darth Vader, but that would be very interesting. Hell, Emperor Palpatine could be visiting, and something occurs. It'd be better if it didn't have any of the heavy hitters. It was just an average, if there is one, an average Star Destroyer got lost in the galaxy. Just like in Voyager, maybe you got slung shot so far away that it doesn't know where it's at. So, and then its primary mission becomes what at that point? What would the primary mission of a lost Star Destroyer of the evil empire be? Exploring? Conquering? Maybe there'd be some conflicting ideologies on the bridge. You know, how far does the Force affect or influence others? I think a lot of the people in the Empire probably agree with the ideology, conquest, right? Might makes right. But I think a little bit of it was that they were controlled by the dark side, this overarching dark force. But what if the Star Destroyer just got lost and it just started exploring? Star Explorer. That's where I'm creating some Grok AI where it shows, you know, the characters from the Empire on the bridge of the Star Destroyer. You know, you'll have the general, the stern-looking general, who's, you know, maybe he's all about the book. You know, maybe, you know, he doesn't believe in right and wrong. He just follows orders. And now that he has this new mission, he has to protect his crew from the unknown, the uncaring universe. And I'm getting Babylon 5 vibes from this idea I just came up with. So this crew, you know, they were at one moment they were warping to go meet the other battalion at Endor to prepare for the rebellion's attack, to repel it, and then the next moment they're like, Ensign, or maybe that's too Star Trek related. They're like, Lieutenant, what planet is that? And you're like, sir, like you have like the Empire minions are at the controls. They're like, sir, we're lost. Like that's not Endor. Like, yeah. And then there's a Sith Lord. Let's say there's a Sith Lord that oh my God, I want it to be like. It might just have to be like a prototype ship. Like here it is. This is a new type of Star Destroyer, and it just left to go on its maiden voyage. God, this happened in Star Trek Discovery. The whole point of why it would be a prototype ship, first of its class, is because I want there to be a visiting dignitary, possibly a Sith Lord. It doesn't have to be. It'd be better if it wasn't Darth Vader himself, because I don't think he'd be too interested in exploring the universe and scanning things for data points. Maybe it's like in my Grok AI imagery, it graciously put in some awesome variants of Sith Lords. Every color on the rainbow spectrum, actually. So what if this Sith Lord was, he's on the ship, and then as it's going out, the Sith Lord has their own ship where the ship is warming up, it's getting ready to go through its trials, and the Sith Lord is in some kind of hyperbaric chamber, meditating on evil or whatever they do. So when this ship it goes in the warp for the first time, bam! They're testing out their new warp drive. They don't just go a few parsecs, as Han Solo would say. They crossed the fucking dimension. They are. It's not a matter of being lost. They have gone so far, and then when they get to this distant point to test this warp drive, the warp drive explodes, and they're like, oh, sparks are going on. The Sith Lord is like, what is going on here? Was it a successful test? Was it successful? And it was more than successful. It sent them to another dimension, possibly. Like scientists think that the universe is infinite. Well, if it's infinite, there's more than one. In my mind, if it's infinite, why would there only be one? It just makes sense to me. At that point, why are you limiting yourself? Oh, the universe is infinite. And then I'm asking the scientists, so how many universes are there? And they're like, oh, one. There's one. Without a doubt, there's only one. It's infinite, but there's only one. And I'm like, does that make any sense, you fucking retard? And they'd be like, no. So, now this isn't some dumb story where they wind up in the Star Trek universe. That ain't ever gonna happen. The lawyers that are gonna prevent the Star Trek from Star Wars universe from combining are already being born. They're already going to law school. They are never going to let that happen. The sun will explode in a supernova before the Star Trek and Star Wars universes are allowed to intermingle. Same with DC and Marvel. At least on film. So basically, let's say it's some brand new Star Destroyer type. It's on its maiden voyage. That's why it has some kind of Sith Lord dignitary, a representative of the Mr. Palpatine. And you have some new guy at the controls. Like his first day. It's his first day on the job. And he still has like the manual on like written on his wrist. He usually wristed. I just picture myself in an Empire uniform, and then like the captain who's like looks maybe like a dead ringer for one of the evil generals in A New Hope. You know that guy that says, "You may fire when ready." He comes on the bridge and he's like, "You may take us to warp when ready, Lieutenant or Ensign." And I'm there, and I'm like, "Right away, sir." I'm looking at the controls, and I'm just like, "Oh boy!" And everyone's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just let me just." And maybe he caused a mistake, and it sends them. The warp drive goes to 101% maximum, and they go to warp plaid, right? So that's what the show would be about, basically. I would like to see it as a redemption arc. The Empire is just like, it's like a one-trick pony. Other than, like, literally, the one good thing that the entire Empire has done, the entire Empire, the one good thing, well, I think it brought order. But I don't think a lot of people would say, thanks for, putting fear in everyone and blowing up planets. They probably quelled a lot of tribal conflicts among the solar systems, but at what cost? I mean, they blew up Andor just to taunt Leia, so that was messed up. The one good thing that we think we can all agree that the Empire accomplished was what Darth Vader did, what Anakin did at the end of Return of the Jedi. That's like all the technology, all the energy and time spent, all the conquering, all the battles, all the wars. If you wring it out like an evil Empire sponge, the one redemption, the one good thing that came out of the whole fucking war machine was Darth Vader's turn to good at like the 11th hour. 11.9999, like you. It's like you played like a 4-hour baseball game, and you've just been striking out the whole fucking game, and then the last player comes up at bat, and he gets a walk on to first base. The game's over. That's it. He got like ball 3, ball 4. He got the walk to first base, and then everyone else struck out. That was it. So I think it'd be interesting. The Star Destroyer is on a mission. At first, maybe they're on a mission to conquer. They're like, the Sith Lord, which makes rare appearances coming out of their ship and their little sleeping chamber. And they could maybe in like they come onto the bridge of the Star Destroyer, and they're like, when they meet a new alien species or see some anomaly, they're like, can we control it? Can we use it as a weapon? If we can't return to the Empire, we'll have to form our own. So maybe there's some conflicting ideologies. Like what would a lost Star Destroyer do if it came in contact with another alien species? Would it try to conquer it? Would half the crew want to revolt? God, like the stories that would come out of this would be, it would be like Voyager adjacent, it's like a lost ship. But in that case, they knew they were just on the other side of the galaxy. Like they knew where to go, and they just said it would take, what did they say? It would take 9 years or something at warp, maximum warp. In this situation, they are completely lost. And maybe the Sith Lord is it's like a classic Master and Commander. Like they're on some sailed ship, and they're lost, and they're trying to use the stars or the wind or their faith to point them in the right direction. Maybe the Sith Lord is trying to like guide the ship almost like a lost ship at night. And some of the crew don't believe that he's taking them in the right direction. Some don't want to go back. Like maybe the Sith Lord comes on the bridge and he has some kind of crystal, and he's almost like the ship's wizard, and he's like, this direction. And then like the stern Empire by the book captain is like, this direction. This one. It's very important that we get this straight because we will be turning the ship and going in that direction. And if there's nothing out there, we'll fucking starve and get space madness. This direction. And then like the Sith Lord is like, no, this direction. And they're like, oh my fucking God. I'm like, I'm at the consoles. And I'm like, holy shit. They do not know what the fuck's going on. Bureaucracy at its worst, right? it'd be like totally like the crew is just like groans, like, oh, and then they're like, and the captain's like, shut up, all of you. Listen, stiff up our lip. Oh my God, you gotta play it straight though. I always say that you gotta play it straight. Like you could have moments like that where like the crew of the Star Destroyer Empire kind of groans, and then because they're like, we're gonna die out here. This coffee's not that good. But God, so many, and so that's what I'm making on Grok AI right now. I wish I could just slice there's 6-second videos that I make, fully animated by Grok, and it's just the most beautiful renderings of the bridge of a Star Destroyer. And I was trying to get this imagery. Imagine, the bridge of TNG, but it's a Star Destroyer bridge, maybe with a little updated design because of the prototype ship. But there, you got the stern captain in his chair. You got the Sith Lord in the corner acting kind of like Worf. But I guess it'd be more like having an admiral on the ship with Picard, and just kind of, it's kind of that they'd be butting heads constantly, just like Darth Vader and in A New Hope. Like, what a great scene, that office, that meeting they had, the argument they had on the Death Star, where you have like this magical faith and then you have stern military discipline. In many ways, A New Hope is the best of the Star Wars films because it treated them as equal foes. It's almost, now I'm thinking of the Battle of Midway, very similar. A lot of people think they lost that battle because the military, the Japanese Army, the Navy, and the Air Force didn't work together. They're almost like enemies in their own home. So I don't think they traded information very well. But God, can you just imagine? And as I was generating some of these Grok AI videos, I was just like, look at that. This could be a real good Star Wars branded show. And it would have a real redemption arc. There'd be, you still have the Sith Lord here, and it'd still be the first few seasons. It's still the evil Empire. They're the evil Empire. Maybe they're conquering a few rogue ships that they do find. They find some alien species. But then maybe they land on a world, and I would imagine they would have a head science chief on a Star Destroyer, possibly. Or maybe he's a medical doctor and he just decides to become a geologist on a certain alien world that they might be conquering. He befriends somebody, an alien there. The Sith Lord finds out about it, and he's like, if you come to my ready room, he has to go onto the little Sith Lord ship in the docking bay, and he's like, did you fraternize with that hot green alien chick and fucking have a kid with her? Yeah, maybe he has a child. Maybe he has a child with one of these alien women. I mean, I ask how that happened, and then he has to raise this child on the ship in secret. Oh, that would be fucking crazy, wild. And he's the most stern, strict person on the ship by the book. And you've got a secret wife and kid in your fucking room, bro. Hypocrite. That'd be me. I'd be like, you hypocrite much? Captain? Maybe it could be the captain himself. He took a war prize. Got a little too close. A little too close for comfort, huh, Captain? Like maybe another member of the crew finds out that the captain himself took a female war prize and had a secret love baby with her, and he knows about it. The captain, he's forced to promote this ensign to like lieutenant to keep it a secret. And so in a way, who's the bad guy now? Who's the villain? Maybe it's that newly promoted lieutenant that's blackmailing. Like if he doesn't get what he wants, he'll reveal the captain's love child, who he knows will be killed. shot out of the airlock into space. Oh my god, these fucking stories, bro. Oh. And maybe later you find out that there was a stowaway on this prototype Star Destroyer. Like, as the seasons go on, you find out that there was a rebel stowaway. I don't know. Maybe he was like a Jedi in training that stowed away to observe this new test. And maybe like they're always looking for this guy on the ship. They see bird marks from. He's trying to sabotage the ship. He doesn't know they're lost, right? He just senses in the Force that maybe he can't sense anything. He's like, I don't hear any voices crying out. I don't hear any of my friends. There's no, the Force is not here. Maybe that's why throughout the show, maybe he's hiding on this ship trying to evade capture, and he's trying to regain his Force powers, and he's like, I don't have any Force powers. And maybe the visiting Sith Lord also is noticing an absence of the Force. And then maybe they capture this stowaway Jedi in training. They capture him. And they're like, he's in the Jedi in training, and the rebels in a cell, and the Sith Lord's pacing, and he's like, and then he goes up to him and he's like, what do you feel? Because he's wearing a mask, he's a Sith Lord, and then the rebel's like, you're feeling exactly the same thing I'm feeling, alone. And he's like, what did you do? How did you do this? Because he's gonna blame him for sabotaging he's gonna blame him for sabotaging the ship, for sabotaging, for blocking him from the dark side. He's like, how did you do this? How old are you? There's so many stories. You could go far left field. Like, maybe the Jedi in training was gifted a lightsaber from Luke Skywalker himself. He was gifted it. And it used to be Obi-Wan Kenobi's. And the fucking thing talks to him. You know, like, somehow there's an essence of the Force in this, maybe a lightsaber or maybe a ring. He can hear this faint voice. Maybe the audience doesn't hear it because I don't want to hear any more ghost narrations, but he just feels like he doesn't have any of his Force powers. Everything's gone. But when he talks to the ring or something, it'll vibrate. When he mentions the Force, but he keeps that a secret from the Sith Lord that's captured him. Bro, man, this show is fucking fire. This would be the most incredible. It would have to be a show, an episodic television show. Like, this is too much to put in a movie, which is probably the problem with all these Star Wars movies. The audience doesn't want to get, our attention span is a lot shorter since YouTube, and I get more enjoyment from a 30-second clip than a 3-hour movie. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Oh, there's so much to explore. No pun intended in this show. The ideas, just a few of the ideas I threw out here. The visiting Sith Lord. Why is he on the ship? Oh, it's a prototype Star Destroyer. That explains why he's on the ship, because I don't think it's standard issue to have a Sith Lord on a Star Destroyer. Maybe it is, but that's not the vibes I got from the original trilogy. But making it like the first of its kind, a prototype ship, it also makes it a little bit special. I don't know if the Enterprise in the OST or Next Generation were ever unique. I think they were the best in their class. I mean, Gene Roddenberry was in the Navy. I think on the Enterprise, or he was a Navy guy. The Enterprise. Was that one of the ships in the Battle of Midway? I'm obsessed with Battle of Midway. I've read John Parshall's book on it, so I'm kind of. Yeah, it was Enterprise. What was it? Enterprise, Yorktown, the Hornet, and just a 3. I'm pretty sure it's just a 3 because which one sank in the Battle of the Coral Sea? It was such a great name of a ship, and it was like, damn, you had to sink, or it caught fire from a bomb blast. It was I forget the name of that ship. Lexington. I was thinking of the show Lex. The Lexington. Just imagine if it had been the Enterprise that had not been at the Battle of Midway. It would have, maybe Star Trek would have been the USS Lexington. I don't know. Or maybe if the Hornet the flight crew had gone the wrong direction and not participated in that major battle, maybe I am Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Hornet. You can't even say the word, Captain. Klingon would be like, you can't even say the word, Captain, of your own ship. The Klingons. Okay, so also would be an amazing show. Other than, I think I've explored the Star Wars. It'd be called SD1. Did they already do that? No, I think they could SD1 because it was Star Destroyer 1. Like it's a prototype, right? Oh! Back to the Star Destroyer prototype ship. Now, I'm a huge fan of Farscape. I even met one of the actresses back in the Seattle Comic Con like years ago. It's like 2004. The hot white-haired blue chick. Oh my god! I gotta get my ass to Australia. But so it's a prototype ship. So we know that there's a stowaway, the Jedi in training that was possibly given a gift from Obi-Wan, from Luke Skywalker. So it has some kind of force imbued power, the light force. What if the Star Destroyer's reactive core or the hyperdrive system, the brain of the ship is imbued with the dark force? Maybe that's what it's running on. Or there's some aspect of the dark force in the ship. And so maybe the ship is like, almost like it's alive. Since the ship has never been separated from the dark side. But now we have two aspects of the force that are forced to be in close proximity to each other for survival. So maybe the ship is talking to the crew, or if he's talking with the Sith Lord himself, like, you cannot reveal what you know, but I am alive. I have become sentient. Like, the dark side is actually sentient, and you cannot reveal. And so the Sith Lord, he lost all his powers, but the ship, whatever, he can't reveal that the ship is talking to him. It has become sentient. Woo! Where's my Oscar? Where is my Oscar, Disney? Hollywood? Like, this is a fucking $1 million idea. This is a show that would it would not only, it would save the Star Wars franchise. It would save Disney. And you don't even have to fucking really have a new ship. It's a Star Destroyer. You can modify it. It's the same. It's just like using that world, that universe. Ironically, it's been kicked out of that universe. It's really, really, really far away. Like in another 10 galaxies down the road. That's how far away it is. That hyperdrive fucking, oh boy, it works. It works so well that they ain't ever getting home. And so they have to, oh man, there's so many good ideas. The ship is like, just imagine the dark side becoming sentient. And it inhabits the ship. And maybe it takes over the souls of crew members once in a while. And the Sith Lord he started like going to the hyperdrive system. He's like, everybody leave. Everybody leaves. And then he prays. He prays to this light. There's some kind of dark energy that he prays to. And maybe in later seasons, you learn that it's not the dark side. It's some kind of, oh yeah, the Sith Lord just got fucking duped. It's some kind of alien being. Similar to like Star Trek. Was it Star Trek 6? You know, like what would God want with a starship? It's some alien being that latched onto the ship. He thinks he's talking to the dark side. Oh, these ideas are fucking. A Sith Lord thinks he's talking to the dark side, and it's an alien force. This is a beautiful pairing of Star Trek and Star Wars, without just like without making it obvious. It's a beautiful pairing, like red wine and Parmesan cheese. Oh, beautiful pairing. I actually think this is one of my best ideas. This one trumps the Home Alone 3, Kevin Goes to Jail sequel that never existed. This one trumps the Rambo 5, where he gets airdropped into Iran and baptizes their nation in Christianity. This one is really fun. I really had fun talking about it, honestly. This is it's gonna be my longest video. I'm brewing some more coffee here. It's Stumptown. Oh wait, it is Stumptown. Okay, it is Stumptown. This is like a universal bag. It just coincidentally is Stumptown. What the fuck am I talking about? So yeah, that coffee was not. The one I did not like, I'm not even gonna show you. This one's good. But that's not the one I'm drinking right now. What the fuck am I? Okay, anyways. This is one of the funnest what if scenarios I've only made like 6 of them. But damn. I just love, once I start recording myself, I used to write. I did a little bit of writing in college, but I mainly wrote stories on my mom's Apple II computer. I didn't even have a printer. Well, we did have a printer, but it stopped working. And this is back in like 1993 or whatever. I would watch movies and I would just write on my computer. And I still have the computer, but the hard drive literally locked up. I think it's rusted. I have to open it up and shake it loose. But man, I love that Apple II computer. It had a really fun paint program, and I just crazy, coincidentally enough, I would draw. I would kind of use it like Mario Paint. I would draw Star Wars scenes, and I would change the gradient. I'd have an at whatever AT. I would have one of those, the foot coming down, and I guess it was like the very first digital picture making, and it was very simple times back then. There wasn't internet for another 10 years that I knew of. The only time I could use internet was there was one room at our elementary school, and you'd go in there. I think it was just like Internet Explorer, and we did that to research very basic things. Very innocent time. Now you got Pornhub on your phone. You're like, I guess there's never a bad time just to whack off. Like now it's just fucking debauchery, and sadly our kids have to grow up in this world. But it was such an innocent time in the 90s. I think that's why people are so nostalgic for it. It's just so innocent. Like you go play with your friends. Like you literally just had to go play. Even watching TV was a social thing. You had to wait for it to come on. But anyways, yeah, I would drew these Star Wars pictures, and they're still on that computer. And oh boy, when I go visit my mom, I'm gonna get the little screwdriver and try to fix that damn computer, because I had all these. I'll have to make a video of, like, it's a time capsule. The last time I ever used it was 2004. That was the last time it worked. I still remember turning it on and just checking it, clicking around. I used to go into class, and they had an Apple II in the back of the classroom as well. And this is in the 6th grade. And one day, you're just an Apple II sitting in the back of the classroom. That's how old I am now. And one day, everyone was out at recess, and I came back early, and I was like, my hands in the pocket, and I'm like whistling. I had a disc. What is it called? A 2.3 inch, whatever, a floppy disk. And there was a game on that computer. I think it was like a Spy Hunter. It was just an awesome game. I don't know how it got on there, but I was gonna get that game, and so put the disc in the computer. And the classroom was empty, and you could just download the game. I just dragged and dropped it to the disc, and I think I still have that game, like 25, 30 years later. I still have that game, and it was awesome. It was, God, if I could ever get that computer working, it's gonna be just like I left it. Not one thing will change. All my stories are, luckily I still have, luckily I was smart enough, my coffee. I literally had on my mom's PC, her Windows PC, I just looked at it and I just copied my stories onto a word processor, because that's how I did it. Like, all my stories were written on a computer that had no printer or internet. We would never have internet on this damn thing. So I have all my stories, but a lot of the games and all the artwork I don't have. Oh, the digital artwork. It's a fucking time capsule. It might be my most prized possession. You talk about things that have value, personal value. That Apple II computer, it's my childhood. And it's like all these messages and artwork that I created as an innocent child. And it's in that, I know where it is. I'm holding it. I just can't. I'll have to make a separate video. I'm gonna be visiting my mom this month, so I'll get my iPhone out, and we're going to try to make some magic happen with that computer. All right. Anyway, this is a long-winded video. That's my what if video. If Star Trek had the evil Empire Star Destroyer gets lost, and then it starts exploring strange new worlds. I think that's really an interesting concept. And then the Sith Lord thinks he's talking to the dark side, but it's actually some alien entity that's tricked him. Oh my God. Who has watched every Star Trek episode and could write this in his fucking sleep? Come on. All right. Anyways.